we come to the place for magic.
We come to give me back my action movies. To laugh?
To cry.
To care.
Because we need that.
All of us.
That indescribable feeling we get
when the lights begin to dim.
And we go somewhere we've never been before.
Not just entertained, but reborn.
Together.
Dazzling images on a huge silver screen.
Sound that I can feel.
Somehow, blowing shit up and cracking skulls feels good in a place like this.
Our heroes feel like the best part of us.
And stories feel perfect and powerful.
Because here
they are.
Give me back my action movies. We make action better.
Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied. Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. Shoot you between the balls. The disease, and I'm the cure. I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent.
There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Gimme Back My Action Movies, the podcast. Still missing in action. I am one of your hosts, Charlie. With me, as always, is Nate. Say hello to the people, Nate.
Woo!
That perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. And beside him on my computer screen, our other hostess with the mostest, Pete.
Good evening, gentlemen. My woo was taken away from me.
Oh, I had to get the Ric Flair woo in before you.
You did a very good job.
Yep.
I
Thank you.
relinquished my title to you, sir. You now are the reigning World Wrestling Federation champion of the woo world.
Of the woo. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
you still have your sup bitches,
What's
trademark.
up, bitches?
Yeah, I
We'll
can't
get
take
that
Here
that.
we
on
go.
t-shirts
Let's
or
go.
something.
Boy, oh
That's
boy,
it.
we got a banger today, guys. What?
Well, we could have had a bigger banger if someone would have let me do Delta Force 3.
Nope.
Damn it!
Nope.
That sounds bad.
We're
sounds
not doing
real
Delta Force 3, man.
If Charlie says no, it means it's bad. Like bad.
Yeah.
like super bad. Charlie
Oh,
likes
I know.
everything.
It's like,
And if Charlie doesn't like an action movie, stay clear.
now
Hands
we
and
gotta
feet
deal with-
inside the car at all times. This is
we
not
have to
a
do
good.
2 more missing in action movies, and I really don't know how to feel about it.
You should feel amazing because they actually have Chuck Norris in them.
Well, this is true, yeah. It's all,
there's
Unlike
a
Delta
Norris.
Force 3.
all
We
Chuck
could
all
have
day. yeah.
moved into remember those U.S. Navy SEAL Delta Force movies or whatever they were called, and they'd
Yeah.
have a guy that with an MP5, and I don't even know if that gun was even in the movie, but then there'd be U.S. SEALs Delta Force 3 and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, we're not going down. We're not going that till we're in our 20th year of doing this. We're in a retirement home. We've had to dig out we've already gone through every Chuck Norris movie available.
I'm rocking back and forth in my chair, so my voice gets high and then far away because of the rocking.
My hover round has tracks. I've just modified it all. I don't want wheels because I'm going full action till I die, man. No, man,
We're bitching about the latest remake of Delta Force.
Yeah, there you go.
Back in my day.
But that's it, man. The podcast started 2 years ago on Chuck Norris, man. Delta Force. We did Delta Force 2 last year 2.
Phenomenal movie.
It's got to stay Chuck. So we go to the next longer franchise, Missing in Action. So we do Missing in Action for the next foreseeable future.
I don't know how I feel about this.
You'll
Straight
feel
up.
fine, man. You'll feel fine.
Worst
You'll
case
be-
scenario, we can watch Walker Texas Ranger for the next 20 years.
I can do it per episode. There you go.
Right,
Every
right, exactly,
anniversary we
yeah.
cover an episode of Walker.
Well, can we do the first one where Billy Drago shows up? Because let me tell you, if every anniversary episode is not going to have Billy Drago, I'm a little pissed off.
I will not argue with that. I do miss Billy Drago in this one. Well, before we get too far into this, we need to let everyone know that this obviously is our anniversary episode. This is our 3 year, or we've got 2 years down, but this is our third anniversary.
Beginning of the third, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how these work.
I don't either. So it's
Like
one or two.
anniversaries in general. Like, what date do you pick?
I think it's like second anniversary technically, but we're starting our third year. Is that
But
how
then,
it
like,
works?
for me, this is like, I've been on the podcast for like a year and 3 months. Pete's been on it for like a year.
It counts.
It
Oh,
I've been
counts.
here.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
counts.
I've been here since day one. It's fine.
Well, I just think we
Yes,
should all
you
get our own
have.
anniversary date.
You all want each other's anniversary dates. Well,
You're damn
Then-
right I do.
every anniversary of Pete's is a Mario Van Peebles movie.
Oh, Jesus,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah, you're right.
Not a werewolf movie.
I get Bill Paxton and Lance
Oh
Henderson.
my God.
You
You
get
do
Mario Van Peebles. I come out on top. Every time that I see someone downloads Near Dark, I just like, I want to find that person and apologize to them.
To Near Dark. Near Dark was good.
It's too long of an episode. We walk through the whole movie. It disappoints me so badly. Like, I want to find, like, if it's like a person out in Wisconsin, I want to drive to their home and be like, yeah, I'm sorry about that one.
Sorry about that one.
We start sending care packages
Well,
every time it gets downloaded.
The person that downloaded it in Ukraine, I'm like, I'm sorry that you're
Yeah.
dealing with a war and you had to listen to us for 2.5 hours talk about Near Dark.
well, I promise to refund anyone's money who has ever felt the need to ask for the money back.
No, it's free, so we'll
Yeah.
send everyone back their
I'll still
money.
give them their
back.
money
Exactly.
back. But also, I never
All
got
right,
to
you can
share
cut
this
that
with
out.
Pete.
Yeah, what?
Shortly, not too long ago, I was able to find a pristine, hard copy
Oh,
of
Lord.
Full Eclipse
Why would you buy that?
because it
I'm
was
wondering
$7.
What's
why
wrong
you
with
didn't buy
you?
two, because I want one now.
$7
They
too
only
much.
had one copy. You almost got this for Christmas, but I couldn't let go of it.
Thank you. That's the best Christmas present ever that you didn't give me that movie.
Look, I'm never going to remember your guys' anniversary, so I think we're just going to stick with this one for the
Same.
main channel.
My
You know what?
anniversary,
Just to make,
Gonna roll with
we'll
it.
call things fair.
my anniversary
truce.
is February. I'll take that whole month as my anniversary.
Well, we already know. So February belongs to Pete, and at the end of the episode, he is going to reveal the first movie that Charlie and I will be watching
I
for the
am.
Pete month.
Yes,
And
it's
then
true.
March
Shit,
is
I
when we
forgot.
reboot the show to get rid of all the shit.
full
Oh,
full hard reset.
oh, gentlemen, I'm so excited.
I actually forgot we were doing that, so yay me.
Hey, let's talk about
us.
this movie. Let's
Yeah.
not.
Well, no, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and hit the trailer real quick. Let's get it
Okay.
out of the way, and then we'll explain to everyone how we do our anniversary episodes. Let's do that.
Vietnam, 1984. Chuck Norris is James Braddock. Decorated war hero. Ex-prisoner of war. An American on a mission. One man who couldn't forget the Americans that were left behind.
We categorically deny that there are any living MIA in Vietnam.
Wrong answer.
James Braddock has returned. To uncover the truth and free the soldiers
We're going home?
missing in action.
Damn right.
James Braddock declares war. The war isn't over until the last man comes home. America had no more heroes. Until now, Chuck Norris, missing in action.
Yeah, that was a trailer for
That's a
a Chuck
trailer.
That
Norris
was.
movie.
This movie exists. I think it had good intentions.
Did it?
I'm trying to be nice to it, but when the movie opens up and you're seeing Chuck Norris' friends being stabbed repeatedly, and I had text the group went, "Oh, this movie's pretty dark."
Mhm.
Oh boy, this isn't going to be, Chuck Norris fighting Billy Drago the whole time. Because in my head, this was Delta Force 2. I really love that movie, all right, and I don't mean to keep bringing it up, but
It's fine. We can talk about Delta Force 2 all you want. That's fine. No, this the missing in action movie. Ooh, this one's kind of action. I
a
guess.
little bit.
Yeah, it's slow.
It's kind of boring.
Oh, okay. I'm feeling much better about my opinion of this movie. The way you guys
Pete's been
are
worried.
reacting, I've been totally worried the whole time because I'm like,
I'm
oh my
gonna rip
god,
you apart.
this is a lot of Lord of the Rings walking,
Staring,
and fighting, and staring,
grunting,
and
Denim.
I don't a lot of I don't care. Like, oh, this movie is rough.
And this is the better of the
Well, right.
three.
This is the better than right. This is supposed to be the best of the two.
Yeah, because they made 1 and 2 at the same time. They went, "We'll release this one first.
I want to say
supposed
this
to be part 2, but
was
this is the better one."
there was like 15 minutes of the movie before there was a single line spoken. I'm like, Jesus Christ, just let's have some story here. And it's all helicopters and guns, and it's just this really. To begin with, this isn't my bag. this kind of movie, right? And I don't really like war movies, like when it's real and it's war and it gets intimate when people are shooting people. It's like I like my monsters a whole lot, and I've been very clear about that on this podcast and others. But this is just the epitome of none of this is fun for me. There's some fun explodey stuff, but I get a lot more fun exploding stuff in James Bond movies. And that's entirely tongue in cheek through the vast majority of those movies. This was not. This was very serious. This was very gung ho. This was very, and he was rescuing his buddies, and there's a lot to be said about that. Yet it was awfully boring. It's just like,
I don't think it really landed its mark. But Pete, you just gave me a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
What if we cast Chuck Norris as James Bond?
I'd watch it.
I'd watch the shit out of that.
I'd watch it.
Pete doesn't look like he is too happy about this idea, but I'm telling you right now,
I would like
the
to see James
gadgets,
Bond.
they're his fist and his legs.
No, I want the ejector seat. I want the flamethrower. I want the watch that's a magnet.
Oh, the flamethrower is that crotch.
oh Lord.
Thing is, he
The
doesn't
carpet
get
and the drapes.
He
They match.
doesn't get fancy sports cars. He just keeps getting better and better Hummers and Jeeps and everything else as
He
it
gets
goes.
4-tracks or whatever those
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
does Q make him a David Bowie codpiece?
Sure.
Kind of, yeah.
And he doesn't
As
do
a
an
weapon.
English accent at
No,
all.
not at all. And no tuxedo,
I am
only
for
the
both.
denim tux
Denim tuxedo the whole time.
Denim tux. Jeez.
with the chest bare open on display. This movie really tried to make Chuck Norris a sex symbol.
Ugh.
What do you mean try? He's getting
Once again,
naked
though-
he's getting naked with the lady. You're not tearing your eyes away from that
Well,
screen.
here's something. So this is a canon movie, right? I mean, like, this is canon.
This
as
is
canon.
yeah,
This is as canon gets.
This is the Vietnam War as told by canon.
Right. There is a disappointing amount of naked boobies in this movie.
Really?
There's
There's a lot.
I saw some butts in the strip
I did
club.
see some butts, and I saw
Uh,
a woman have her shirt teared open and didn't really
yeah.
know what was going on. but it was because he was being a James Bond spy, actually, now that I think about it.
They're in a whorehouse. There's topless women running around all over the place. Tucker's laying in bed with two naked women when Chuck walks in and says, "We gots to go."
That was
you
funny.
know,
That was very funny. I'm like, go Tucker. I want to be Tucker at that point. That was
This
good job.
movie felt like a documentary, just like Delta Force 2 was George Bush calling in Chuck Norris to take care of the drug cartel. This one being a little bit earlier, that means this was Ronald Reagan calling in Chuck Norris to handle Vietnam for him.
Yeah, this is like 83, so really early in Reagan's term, I think.
I try not to watch a movie with like my political lens because like I don't agree with the Vietnam War, and then like watching this movie, I'm like, this is rough. Why did we do this to our people?
There's a lot of stuff with the Vietnam War. We don't have to get into it.
We don't have to get in. No, I don't want to get into that because like what I want to get into is the explosions and Chuck Norris rising from the water, going duka 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 and shooting bad guys.
Look,
oh my
while
God,
this may not be on my first, like list of best Chuck Norris movies,
it's
this
on
is
a list of Chuck
far.
Norris movies.
Yeah, it's on a list. This is not one that I've gone back to watch out of strictly enjoyment. Delta Force, that's what I have that movie for. But this one does have some pretty cool shit in it. I mean,
sure.
If there's one thing to walk away from this movie is Chuck Norris is impervious to grenades.
When that house blows up,
I was like, the man just held two grenades, did a jump with them, exploded, and he was fine.
Yep. Woke
they
up from a
explode
nap
while he's holding them.
Yep. He doesn't have a scar.
Not a scratch.
They launched a grenade into that house in the middle of the movie, and people on the street are blinded. Their faces are ripped off, and he doesn't have a scratch on him.
He's a little
I don't
dirty.
even remember that part. That's sad.
You don't remember the grenade launcher from across the street into his room? Like he goes to the because look, every action movie there is a guy hiding in the closet. If nothing I have learned is in every action movie there is a man in. Arnold Schwarzenegger taught me that in Last Action Hero.
Oh, okay.
It was like, how'd you know there was a guy in the closet? There's always a guy in the closet.
Always a guy.
That's exactly what he said. So there's a guy in Chuck Norris's closet. He throws him out the window, and the head honcho guy's like, all right, we're going to have to take care of this, and grenade launchers into his room. Chuck Norris is okay. He's a little dirty.
He tumbles out. Yeah, he's a little dirty.
He's not even
tumbles out the
dirty.
front door, and people on the street.
He was under debris. Yeah.
People on the street are dying. Oh my God.
Yeah. One guy's got like blood pouring out of his eyeballs. I'm like, did you look directly in the blast?
Well, that's what you do.
What was that?
You look at fireworks just like that.
Right. Like, did Chuck Norris have a similar like Steven Seagal contract, so that he wouldn't ever lose or
no?
get
He got
hurt?
to keep all the jeans that he wears on set.
I mean, they beat the crap out of him pretty good in this. They also have, where he's tortured and stuff like that. I mean,
there is that.
So basically, this movie is Cannon got asked to do Rambo 2, and Stallone wanted
he was right,
$20 million. And Cannon's like, yeah, we don't do that here.
Right.
But because
they did the Dr. Evil laugh.
Yeah.
He went, I want $30 million. And everyone,
and they're like, we'll give you 2.
Do you know who we are? We're Cannon.
Yeah.
We don't do that shit.
There's that many zeros? They can do that?
Yeah. But in Cannon fashion, they read that script and went, hey, I have an idea for a movie. And they ripped off Rambo to make Missing in Action movies.
But Rambo 2 isn't boring.
Nope. But if you watch Missing in Action and Missing in Action 2, you're like, it's just really, really long way to get to Rambo 2. It really is.
It really, yeah.
Skipping the first Rambo altogether. I mean,
Yeah, that was already out.
there's
The
a
first Rambo
powerful
was,
movie. That's
yeah.
actually a
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one came out way earlier than a lot of people realize. And so by the time Rambo 2 rolled around, that's, and Stallone was heavily involved with that. And Cannon would have seemed like the actual place to go. Action movies, setting them in other places out of country.
Safe to be damned.
It's just Stallone has a hefty paycheck involved, and they don't. I mean, Cannon did work with Stallone. They did
How
Cobra
else
and Over the Top.
was he supposed to invest into the future 5-star restaurant Planet Hollywood?
Well, that's why he had to involve Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's a heavy investment when you got to get those three involved. I have a very fun Planet Hollywood story that I will save for our 100th anniversary.
Oh
Our
my God, I'm so
100th episode.
100th anniversary.
I was going to say 100th anniversary. Jesus
Wow.
Christ, Nate.
I'm going to live forever.
Well, I guess if we do 3 per year like you guys were wanting to do, maybe the math adds up a little faster.
Chuck Norris has been in 44 stuff, not movies, but just
Stuff. All right. Well, I got good news for you guys, though. I have
Bring it
good
on.
news.
Yeah.
We're not just going to talk about missing in action this episode.
Oh, thank God.
I'm so happy that you guys feel mostly the same way I do about that. I was so concerned.
What we try to do on our anniversary episodes that we started last year was
the one.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe someone's listening to this after listening to the 5 other we've done already. You don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, like we did on our last anniversary, Nate, was we asked the members of the Give Me Back My Action and Horror Movie Facebook groups, the Instagrams, and asked them to ask us questions to read on the show and answer. So we had quite a few pop up. So we're going to go through these,
we got
intersperse a little bit of missing in action, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. What do you guys think? Is that
so
okay?
excited.
I mean, we can keep talking about
Bring it.
missing in action.
No.
Last year,
I'm
this
okay
was a
with
lot
that.
of fun.
Questions, please.
This was. The problem was last year, we recorded the episode, and then we lost it. And then we had to go and re-record it.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a little behind the scenes secret,
Oh,
everyone.
that's
We never let
awful.
anyone know that.
that's
And it was
happened.
disheartening.
That's happened to us over at Good Beer Bad Movie Night.
And
so
especially for it to
it's
be
the
the-
worst.
The anniversary episode of all episodes to lose that one. And to go back, like, we only have one day to get this recorded, because matching up
Mhm.
schedules and shit. And
Yep.
so I just asked that the podcasting gods allow this episode to not have to be re-recorded.
Well, now it's going to have to be. Way to go, Nate.
Double record this, please.
You just
double secret probation record it.
It's double stamp, triple stamp. I have a list of questions, and this time I was smart and sent it ahead to you guys because
Yes.
some of these are thinkers.
We're
Shoot.
learning as we go.
Yeah. So,
Gotta use our brain pan.
Yeah, 'cause
less editing for Charlie. He learned.
yes,
So,
last time was a lot of wait 1 second, let me think about that.
Right. Way less editing. Right. Yeah.
All
This
right,
time
so
I wrote them down.
are you ready? Here we go. We got our first question from our brothers across the pond.
Ooh.
Bad Movie Cult.
Oh, those guys are great.
What is the best horror of the 90s that never got a sequel, spin-off, or reboot? Now, this is up to us. It's not like there's this hidden answer they have. For us.
Right.
No,
But
I
to
have
us-
the correct answer.
What, you have the correct one?
Yeah, I have the
Okay.
correct answer, actually.
Oh, okay. I think I have the correct answer.
No,
Oh.
we
I
might
have
have
an
the same
answer.
answer then.
Oh, well, let's start with Pete then. Pete,
Yes,
do you
Pete,
have an answer?
what is
for
your
this
wrong
one?
answer?
My- oh no, my answer is wrong because it's not in the 90s. Someone
What?
save me.
You had one assignment.
I read it to the 80s, so I'm going to give you my 80s answer.
Sure. Give
I
us the
told you
80s.
he didn't have the right answer.
I had the wrong answer, and on purpose. The horror movie that did not get a remake that should have got a remake in the 80s, Life Force. I want more topless space vampires.
Yes. Yeah, life force. All right, that is the correct answer for the 80s.
For
if
the
we were
80s,
asked
right,
that.
right.
Sure.
I swear to God that was in the 90s, and I'm very wrong about that. So my answer is null and void. Thank you for the question.
Nate, what's the right answer, Nate? What's the right
The correct answer is a movie that we have covered on this show. It
Deadly
is Dead
Spot?
Alive.
Oh,
Yes.
1992. It hasn't even been re-released. That's how great it is.
Oh,
You got one chance to get it.
you
mine
got
is
it.
also one we've done.
Oh,
But
is it Brain
that's-
Scan?
It is Brain Scan.
Brain Scan. Yes.
Edward Furlong and the kid that played his best friend just got reunited the other day.
Yes, they're on
Oh.
that Shelley Duvall movie that's coming out. The
Bloody
Forest Hills, I believe.
Disgusting. Bloody Disgusting, I think, covered it. It's on their website. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Well, speaking of movies we've covered on the show, our new friends that we've made, I met these guys over on Twitter. So Twitter isn't just a cesspool. There's some cool people over there. If you don't click on politics, which is what I do. But
Just movies.
Just movies, period. And this is from Dissect That Film. So everybody go check out their podcast. They also have a YouTube channel.
Lovely people.
They are. What is your favorite movie that we've covered on the show? What is our favorite movie that we have covered? That's a toughie.
Well, okay.
I know mine.
Okay. I have two answers.
There goes Pete.
Oh,
what's my favorite movie that we covered on the show? Evil Dead 2. Easy peasy.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
That's easy. What was the most fun that I had on a show? God, it's a toss up between Puppet Master and Masters of the Universe. I had a blast on both of those shows. I thoroughly enjoyed Puppet Master mostly because we got to watch that together, and Masters of the Universe because that was such a fun discussion. We had a raucous good time on that show.
Right. So if
No,
everyone's hoping for that level of episode this time, just go ahead and stop listening right now.
Yeah. We peaked with Masters of the Universe.
That's it, man.
The rest is downhill from here.
Thanks for coming, everybody. I think we'll just come back every January, cover a Chuck Norris movie. Done till then. That's how we continue this on. Nate, what is your favorite movie we have covered on the show?
I forgot we covered Evil Dead 2. So that wasn't what I wrote down. That's on me.
That's fair.
But it was a movie that Charlie introduced me to, and it wasn't Metal Storm. As we now know, that is Pete's fault.
Yeah.
Class of 1999.
Oh,
Yeah. It is.
That's a
It's a
good movie,
masterpiece of film.
Mhm.
I had a blast with it. As Charlie knows, it's kind of become my heroine, where I'm still chasing that Class of 1999 high. And something that's been talked about internally is how do we make the third year of the show be Class of 1999? That's what I'm going for.
I have a few new drugs to let you try out.
I'm down to take all the different drugs.
I got some tastes that you might like. The
For
problem
work
is
purposes, that is a joke.
yeah.
right.
Anyone listening.
Hey, boss, don't listen to this.
Yeah. The problem is if I do happen to beat that high, I don't know if I can beat that new high again.
That's what's gonna be hard, because like that was a movie. This isn't like Die Hard or RoboCop, because I got to see those as a kid. This was an adult that got to feel like a kid again.
Right.
It's very rare to
absolutely.
get that from this era,
Absolutely.
because you've seen everything at this point.
I think that landed with Despa recently over on Good Beer Bad Movie Night.
So nice self plug there, Pete. Good job.
We had that's what I'm doing here. But that was genuinely like what you said with 99. This was such a hoot. So everyone go out and watch Despa.
Oh yes, and then go listen to Good Beer Bad Movie Night talk about Death Spa.
I'll stop
Charlie!
plugging.
It's on
What's
Tubi.
what
It's
about
on
you? I feel like I know.
I'm glad somebody does, because this is a difficult question.
It is.
Because
Yeah.
I kind of pick all these, you know what I mean? Like we have a consensus about what we're going to cover. And for the most part, we don't really cover movies we don't like or aren't really our favorites.
Wouldn't it be fun?
Not really, no. I mean, but if I take the question at its surface of what is my favorite movie we've covered based solely on the movie, Starship Troopers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't argue with
Starship-
that. That's
it's
great.
probably one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And not that I planned this, but there's actually a Starship Trooper tie-in to Missing in Action.
Oh. Is
Yeah.
Clancy Brown somewhere in this?
I wish that would have been so much better.
Every movie would be better with Clancy Brown and or
This is actually
Bruce
a
Campbell.
fact.
But Lenore Fitz, no, it's her real first name and last name in the movie. Lenore Kasdorf, who played Anne Fitzgerald, which is the woman that's kind of like the handler for Chuck Norris in this, and she rips her top off and all that stuff. That's Rico's mom from Starship Troopers. Yeah,
Nice.
Yep. That's great.
So nice little tidbit there of that. So see, I got to keep bringing it back into Missing in Action because we are technically covering that movie today.
Oh yeah, we are.
Forgot about that.
Talk
so
about
now that there's our Missing in Action part. So I got us into that. So we'll jump into. All right. Well, we got an interesting question from new-ish friends. I feel like we've known them forever by now, but A Cut Above movie review over at Instagram. We're good friends with them over there. They've done some work with Spoils of Horror and stuff like that. They this is an easy one, guys. I'm gonna read this off to you. How much better do you like A Cut Above over those bums at Spoils of Horror? This is kind of a no-brainer.
This is
isn't
like
it, guys?
the easiest, most obvious answer that you could
Let me
possibly
tell you
give.
about these two guys.
All right, Pete, why don't you tell us the answer to that?
All right, so here's how it goes.
Man, I totally agree with you.
And that's
there.
a fact, Jack.
You nailed it, Pete.
That's
like,
right.
there's definitely
Right.
that's it.
I mean,
triple stamp, double stamp. That's all that needs to
Lock,
be said.
stock, smoking barrels. Boom, you did
put
it.
that question to bed, and we don't never have to talk about it again.
On to the next. On to the next. All right. Well, the next one comes from a longtime friend, also been a guest on the show, has made a movie that we have covered on the show. Our brother James Brenton, who made the artwork for, is still the background on my phone, James. I will never take it off. And it's my Mega Delta Force movie poster you made me with Chuck Norris in the Mega Force poster. But he has sent over a question, and it's favorite kill from a horror slasher movie. Your favorite kill.
Slasher, though.
Horror or slasher.
Horror
Just
or
horror
slasher. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This is hard because then you have
This
to go
is really
through
hard.
multiple kills from one movie, then times that by every movie that you've seen.
Right.
Let's do it one that sticks out to you. Like if someone goes,
okay,
and I feel like
kill.
I got one. Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I went with. Was like, well, this one really sticks out to me because like it's just so much fun.
Okay.
Yes. Should I go first then?
Go ahead. Sounds like
floor
you're
is
ready.
yours.
It is Jason with the sleeping bag kill.
God damn it!
It is a fantastic kill.
Yes, it is.
It's so good that Pete and I matched, and we didn't even know that was going to happen. That's how you know it's a damn good kill.
Twinsies.
That wasn't oh shit. That was like oh shit is what that was.
That was a very
And
visceral
that-
reaction.
How
that
angry
person in
Jason
half.
looks because of how upset Kane Hodder was that happened to do it.
Right.
Pete, now that I have stolen yours, what's yours?
You
damn
can
it.
have the same answers, guys.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not like
allowed.
we have to
No,
have separate
I'd
ones.
like to point out another one that made me in Rec. The
Okay,
the-
REC, yeah.
REC, the Spanish found footage movie.
Yeah.
There was a scene where the gal is reporting and somebody is recording her, of course, and behind her from the rafters, this body drops, and it surprised me so much that I jumped and went, "Whoa, shit!" And it looked like it was a dummy that fell out there, but it had such weight to it that it didn't fall like your traditional dummies, right?
Right.
Like the dummies that go off the cliff, and you're like, "Yeah, it's a dummy." But this felt like it had weight, and when it landed, the ADR on it was so good, where it just went kind of cracky, splatty. It was wonderful, and it was all lined up beautifully. It made me go, "Holy shit, I need to see that again." And I rewound it a couple of times because it was out of nowhere. I really appreciate it. If I can't have the flippin' Jason sleeping bag kill, I'm taking Wreck. That's my answer.
You can have Wreck. That is totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of struggle with this one because there's, like you said, there's so many. It's like you think of one and then you're like, "Oh yeah, but what about this one?"
Right,
This one's
exactly.
even better. But I wanted to kind of keep it a little on brand with the show, so I went with something we've covered, and it's gonna be Dead Alive, with the zombie that torso lands on the lawnmower at the end, and he turns it on, and it's just this spinning food processor of death, and I love it for the amount of gore and blood and goo, and I'm laughing the whole time. I love that one.
I can't wait to watch Dead Alive again. We've talked about it twice now, and I'm already.
That's such a hard, like this question is so hard to answer because there are those hilarious kills, and there are those holy shit, like Terrifier, the first one, where this poor woman is sawed in half from the bottom. Like, oh God. It's a great.
I literally just saw a clip the other day of the scene in Hatchet where he rips the top of the lady's head off.
Yeah.
Like grabs the top of her jaw and canopies her head. And I'm like, that's amazing. But then I'm also going Tucker and Dale versus Evil when the kid falls into the wood chipper. The freaking wood chipper, guys.
And then
Guy Fargo's himself.
Exactly. Day of the Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, where the zombies pull the guy apart. What an amazing
Day of the Dead, I think.
Yeah.
What an amazing effect that is. But we have contrasting deaths here. Like, it's so hard to pick one. Like, this was horrifying. This was hilarious. This one was satisfying. It's so hard to pick.
Absolutely.
But wonderful question. Thank you so much. That's a lot of fun to talk about.
Good question, James.
I think tomorrow my answer would change. Hell,
I think every day
in 3 minutes my answer will change.
And for those that don't know, he did The Witch House with Bobby Easley. We did an interview with those guys. That movie is
just saw that,
available.
and it was a hoot. That was a great film. I was really impressed.
And James has even been on the show when Nate couldn't be here. He sat in and did House with me. So go back and check out that episode. Me and James dig into the fun of horror with House. There's some
House
pretty decent stuff in that one.
So good.
All right. So speaking of favorite kills of that, there was a pretty cool kill in Missing in Action with an actor that I'm sure all of us were surprised to see, and that's one Mr. James Hong.
Oh my God.
David Lopan, bitches.
I had no idea. So this is the first time I've seen this movie, and I thought I had some history with Missing in Action because I remember as a child walking into my godfather's living room, and he had HBO or something, and there was a man hanging upside down, eating a rat in a bag pulled over his head. I thought that was Missing in Action because it turned out to be Chuck Norris. I think that's Missing in Action too, because it was certainly not in this movie.
It's 2 or 3.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's 3.
Yeah,
that was the
third
movie.
One.
That was the right. That was the movie I remembered, and I remember seeing Chuck Norris and going, "Oh, this must be Missing in Action. This is a horrible movie." It frightened me because he's eating a rat. Torture is terrible. And then when I saw David Lopan, James Hong, I was so excited. I'm like, holy shit, we got a legit actor in this, because there weren't any other legit actors in this movie.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah.
Who's a legit actor in this movie besides James Hong?
Chuck Norris.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris is a wet blanket as an actor. He
I don't
shows up.
say that to that Denham. You say that
What's wrong
now,
with you?
You're a bad man.
He's a terrible actor. There is no amount of emotion in Chuck Norris.
Always the hard way.
Right. Now
What about
he's pretty and he can kick really good, but I don't think he can act really good.
Emmett Walsh? Now, I don't really know what else he's in, but I know his face when I see him.
That dude,
Tuck.
that dude's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Tucker's awesome.
Tuck's
I
been in
him
a bunch
this.
of stuff. He's always been a weirdo in movies, and I've enjoyed him. So I do not take back my words.
I do not rescind any comments I have just made.
Nope.
That's fine. But no, it's always fun to see James Hong in this. You know, especially when he pop. I mean, the dude's been in what, like 455 movies.
I think that's what
and/or
Nate said
TV
earlier.
shows?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He is
I mean,
he is the dictionary definition of a working actor. He just
I just looked it up. It is now 462. He's added some more in the amount of time.
Oh wow,
we've
that's
talked.
really crazy.
just as we've been sitting here.
Just as we've been
Hollywood.
sitting
30
here
credits
talking.
to his title.
Follow that man instead of the stock market. Always up. Always. James
Bye,
Hong.
bye.
James Hong to the moon, boys. James Hong to the moon. But no, I love seeing him on that one. And you know what? That kind of ties into the next question we have from our brothers over at Gimme Back My Pro Wrestling. And you're like, Charlie, it's James Hong. What do you mean in pro wrestling? Well, James Hong was in an episode called The Maltese Cow on the A-Team. And you know who else was in that? Professor Toru Tanaka. Mr. Sub-Zero himself.
What?
The Butcher from Dead Heat. The man, the myth, the legend, the wrestler, Professor Toru Tanaka. So
well,
that leads into this question, which I actually like this one. This one
That's a
I've
good
actually
question.
have been thinking about. What actor would make a great pro wrestler? Now, this is the preface I got from this. I just sent you guys that question, but it was because so many wrestlers have gone on to be actors. The
Mhm.
Rock, John Cena, Hulk Hogan, all that stuff. But never really the other side. And we don't count that they just showed up promoting a movie, because if that's the case, RoboCop showed up. You know,
right.
You know, no one's going to top RoboCop and Sting as a tag team, championship. That's all there is to it. So I like this one is what actors would make great pro wrestlers. So I'm going to give my answer because I actually like this one. And I am going Gerard Butler. I think that dude would make an amazing, think of him kind of like a Stone Cold-ish wrestler. Because I'm sorry, Gerard Butler is action to me. I mean,
He
if
gets
there is
slept on. He does.
He really does. I mean, he's even got a movie out now that I'm supposed to go watch called Plane. But I love him in Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, all those type of movies. Not that stupid White House Down with Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx.
Hey, you leave Channing Tatum alone.
He's
did
a pretty man.
G.I. Joe. Stop it.
I cannot defend that. I rest my case.
I know you can't, so stop it. So that's who I'm going to go with. There was an additional part to that, but I was like, man, we're really getting deep. Is they wanted to know what their gimmick or anything was. And I'm like,
that's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's definitely not mine either. But I was just going to go Gerard Butler. That's it. Stone Cold Gerard Butler. That's all I got.
Right.
So what about you guys? What do you got?
Does Pete have a luchadora? Because that's what I'm hoping for with this.
Yeah, I got one. I think this guy was in Guardians of the Galaxy. His name was Dave Bautista. That's a big man. I think he'd be a great
Is your
wrestler.
answer the wrestler Dave Bautista?
Oh, that guy was a wrestler? Oh, okay.
That guy was literally a wrestler.
That's a joke. That's joke, son. Okay. So I'm being silly.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I
I was fully expecting you to be like, Batista.
I know,
Dude
Batista
even
was
kind of
wrestling.
has a wrestling name.
Yeah. You know what? He could have something like the Batista Bomb.
Okay, so my real answer, my real answer. Here's my real answer. I want Jackie Chan to be a wrestler. I want Jackie Chan to be in the Japanese circuit of wrestling and do all the high flying crazy shit that the luchadors do. And I think Jackie Chan could do it like nobody else could. I think that would be amazing to watch that man with the skill set that he has jump off the top rope and his disregard to his own body. He would sacrifice every bone in his body to make to stick the landing, so to speak, in wrestling. So that's my actual answer.
Okay.
He comes out in a full body cast still just to wrestle.
Oh yeah. Oh, he wouldn't give a shit. He'd come out in a leg and an arm cast and still take on the Undertaker or something.
Well, see, that'd be his shtick. Every
Right.
time he comes out to his interest music, it's a different cast.
He's got a different cast on a different body part.
Yep.
I hope the other wrestlers sign it at least.
That would be hilarious.
Right. Right. After he beats them, they have to sign his cast.
Undertaker.
Undertaker.
Best luck.
Get well soon, Taker. I dig it.
So Nate, what do you got for us, man?
Oh, the only answer that makes sense to me was Tom Hardy because the man can actually kick ass.
Oh, this is a good point.
Now, Jackie Chan can as well, and so can Gerard Butler. But like,
right,
there is that like karate tournament or something that Tom Hardy was a part of, and like some poor soul had to go against him, and I know that guy was just like, "This isn't fair, right? Like, come on, why am I really? I gotta go against Bane."
Yeah,
Like,
Bane's kicking my ass right now. What am I supposed to do?
This is awesome. I'm totally gonna get laid tonight. Definitely.
if your jaw isn't wired shut.
Yeah, that guy is still eating V8 for dinner, breakfast. I thought I'd get a hobby. The wife wanted me to get a hobby. I said, why not do karate? Turns out I wasn't doing too bad at it. Next thing you know, I signed up for a karate tournament. I'm getting pretty far along. This is going pretty nice. I'm enjoying myself. What do you mean I gotta fight Bane?
That's the one thing I was really disappointed in missing in action. Well, one of many. We got Chuck Norris here, ladies and gentlemen, and we don't get hardly any kung fu fun. We get, and I'm so sorry. I know you guys are action fans. People just shooting people is just boring to me. Now, I will say that the on the dock, the action scene at the dock where there's
the car chase.
Yeah, the car chase where he jumps onto the boat. That was kick ass. That was
so awesome. Yeah, like,
that was very James Bond. That was very Mission Impossible. That was awesome. That I wanted more of that, but there was so much standing there and shooting. I was bored to tears. Oh my gosh, this movie.
That's why you got to add the explosions. That's what makes it fun. But like that car chasing, even with the way that the camera transitions from one vehicle to the next and it's following him, it's one of those like canon movie magic because you're like, yeah, that couldn't happen these days. Like the insurance company would instantly be like, nope, not allowed to do that. Your cameraman will die. We're not letting that happen. Where like back then, the 80s, it was just like, well, let's just go ahead and do that. And I'll tell you what, we're not even going to buy the road. We'll just do this with actual traffic. It's no big deal.
Right. We won't tell anybody we're doing this, right?
I'm pretty sure one of the stunt dudes lost a foot. When he opened that passenger side door and Chuck Norris takes it off with the truck, that guy had a hair of a second to get his foot back in. And it was so close. But yeah,
the Chuck stunt guy that like grabs the boat, the way it yanks him while it's taking off, like that looked like it's like, yeah, that dude's arm had to have gotten dislocated.
There's dislocated
no
shoulders everywhere.
Yeah.
They literally ran two vehicles into a body of water full of gas and oil and antifreeze and everything in it. And that when cannons, it's gold, man.
That's what I want from Canon. That chaos. Like the only thing I can compare it to in modern day is Mad Max Fury Road. Those stunts in Fury Road were insane. And that moment in Missing in Action was equally that insane. It was crazy.
It just needed more fire and people on
right.
sticks.
There was certainly no less danger. I think there was probably more danger in Missing in Action because safety be damned in these movies for sure. Because we didn't have
OSHA
the budget
was
for
not
safety,
on site,
and they weren't in the United States. That's for sure too.
No.
You can't make those movies in the United States.
But yeah, like these movies were made to give Chuck Norris a vacation.
Yep. Except whenever he did Delta Force 2 and we found out he did it in Elizabeth, Tennessee, which is only like an hour.
You still need to go there.
From me. Yeah. So I got to make a pilgrimage over there. But yeah, when Canon does good, they do great. I think when Canon tries to get, I forget which one of the two always tries to make like a serious movie, like a serious art house movie or a serious war movie. And Chuck Norris was actually really in on Missing in Action because he's totally about telling the story of, the POWs, which was a thing. I mean, that was all over newspapers and headlines for the longest time. I mean, so much that's kind of where, Stallone wanted to take his Rambo character.
Well, sure.
Got to go back and save the brothers and stuff like that. So I get what they were doing.
Intentions were well.
Yeah.
I think
watching the movie through that lens, it is a good movie, but is it a good action movie is really where it comes down to. But man, when the actions, it's great. It's just not fast paced. It's just not
takes forever to get to.
And then all of a sudden it's a badass G.I. Joe movie. And for some reason, they're still able to slow it down, even when they're in like full stealth military mode. You're still like, Jesus, let's just kill some people already.
Kind of
blow something up already.
That's why I like Tucker when he finally just shot that guy that Chuck Norris fought for 5 minutes. He's like, sorry, won't happen again. And then an entire
mud wrestling.
Yeah, the mud wrestling scene. And then the patrol boat turns around in the slowest possible way.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how they missed the inflatable boat with shark teeth on the front of it.
Shark teeth.
Can we talk about the bald guy that whenever they're like, well, I don't know about this boat, one bullet and it's going to take it out of commission. And the guy like snaps his fingers. This guy's never fired a machine gun in his entire life. He shot the rafters, the light fixtures, the boat maybe twice, the shipping containers behind it, because he just kept going in a circle every time he fired the gun. And I'm like, I don't trust that guy. Take the gun away from him. That's not a good bodyguard. That's not Al Leong. Take it away from him right now. I would have loved the movie even more if the guy would have been like, all right, that's enough. Stop. And just put his hand on the gun and pushed it down.
No more.
You're done.
Stop.
You're done. Just oh, all right. Well, let's see. That's a little bit of Missing in Action again. We are going to talk about the movie, but let's go to our next question.
We don't have to.
You don't want to talk about another question?
Okay. No, I like the question.
No, we'll keep talking about Mission Impossible 2. That's fine.
No,
let's talk about the whorehouse a little bit longer.
Yeah, I like in Mission Impossible 2 when Chuck Norris has a motorcycle.
So Mission Impossible 2.
That's what you said.
I didn't say Mission Impossible.
You totally said Mission Impossible 2.
Hey, Charlie, ask another question. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore.
I'm about to turn this recording off, you two.
I'm going to turn this recording around, and we're going home.
I will turn this around as fast as that patrol boat turned around. Bastards. All right. The next question comes from a friend of mine. I've followed this guy on Instagram forever, probably since I started the Instagram profile. He goes by Maestro's Take. And he asks, what film do you stand by that the vast majority absolutely despise?
Oh, man.
This one was hard.
I know what Pete's one is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what mine is.
It's Thirst.
Charlie, you're not the world. We have to, always remind you this.
It's actually a well-regarded film. You're in the minority, sir.
I am not a minority. That's for sure. I watched it with my wife. Numbers are already growing, sir. Numbers have now doubled. Find me 2 more people. I bet I could add them to my side.
Me and Nate already think it's a good movie.
It's a stalemate right now. That's
right
fair.
now. It's a stalemate.
Dead heat. It's a better movie than Thirst.
Well, Dead Heat's a phenomenal movie. Should have won Best Picture that year.
Absolutely despised. That's a rough one, man. I mean, that's like
that is a movie that someone absolutely like. The majority of people are like, that is the shittiest movie ever. I have an answer.
All right, I want to hear. I really want to hear.
Well, mine and really it's kind of wild because it was just reminded about this because our friend Christopher over at Time Shifters just covered this movie, and it's Last Action Hero. That movie was panned by everyone when it came out.
Yeah,
and it was made for me. I mean, it's literally one of those movies to watch where you're like, it's a self-aware action movie, just what we're talking about with the Canon movies and Caracola and all these other studios that would just be like balls to the wall, insane, bullets, babes, and explosions, all this stuff. And Last Action Hero was like, yeah, but let's make it PG-13 because we want it from the kids' perspective of watching these movies. You know, we're not supposed to watch them, but we do. And it's been hated by critics and fans even when it came out. I know it's got a better following now, but I'm going to base it off of when it came out, and it's Last Action Hero. I will defend that movie till the end. We're going to cover it eventually.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
I won't defend the video game, the Sega Genesis last.
We don't defend movie video games.
That was bad.
I wouldn't. Let's not cross that line, please.
I got 2.
Oh, okay.
Overachiever.
Wow.
Yeah. This is what I do.
What you got?
My first one is Jason X. A lot of people despise Jason X, and I think it is a damn fun movie.
I love
Jason
Oh,
X.
it's totally fun.
Yeah,
that
movie is one of those.
That movie is dumb top to bottom, and it's a blast. Is also
get your stuffiness out of your own head or your head out of your ass, and just shut up and enjoy Jason X. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My other one, and I didn't see it until like 2 years ago, was Jennifer's Body. I remember that one getting panned, and then watching Jennifer's Body and be like, this
it wasn't
is actually
bad.
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
I still haven't watched it.
It's actually really good. Yeah, it's got some great bloody scenes.
Yeah.
Sarcastic, witty humor to it. Like
Megan Fox is easy to look at.
Yeah, it's got a lot of Evil Dead nods to it. It's a lot of fun.
You say Jason X though, that just makes me want to be like, I'm also a fan of Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah,
I am a fan of
see,
Jason
that one
Takes
you really enjoy.
Jason
You're going to
Takes
be hard pressed to
Manhattan.
find a Jason movie that I don't
find
fun.
But there are people out there that despise those
Are
movies.
they good? No. Are they fun? Yes.
I think they're good. I like them. I enjoy them. Pete, what's yours? Oh yeah, it's
all right.
Thirst.
I've been. I will stand by Thirst. That is a fantastic movie, and Nate will. It isn't it though. Oh man, wait till you see what I got coming up here in another week.
Oh god.
So anyway, I'm gonna go with Gremlins 2.
That is a good answer.
That movie,
that's a really good one.
Was such a disappointment coming down from Gremlins, because Gremlins is such a legitimately good horror movie. Should have been PG-13. It made the PG-13 designation. And then when they came out with 2, they still had the same actors in it, essentially. And for whatever reason, nobody liked it. And when I watched it a couple of years ago, I'm like, this movie is so much fun. It is bonkers. It is ridiculous. It is what you want from a Gremlins movie. It's a bunch of little monsters running around causing havoc. And that's what you want from a Gremlins movie. Take the bar scene from the first movie and make it 2 hours long. And that's what Gremlins is. Gremlins 2 is.
Yeah. Give all of them not just Spike personality.
Yeah.
I love Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2, I adored as a kid. Like I still
have
do. Like it's so
no
good.
idea why people hate it. It has Hulk Hogan in it, for God's sakes. I love that movie. It was always my favorite. I've seen it more than Gremlins 1. Like seriously, I will watch it over and over again. So I'm with you there. That we can finally agree on something. All right. Here's an interesting one. I feel like this question gets asked not all the time, but it does come up pretty regularly. And this is again from James. What action 80s movie would you update and change for now? You know, reboots suck. We all know it, things of that nature. But is there a movie that hasn't been done? We'll say that much. We'll say that no one's touched it yet that you would want to see remade. And I have an answer for this, and I may have even said this answer when we first covered it. But I still stand by Running Man needs to be remade now with our technology now, with the stalkers, with the whole like television streaming.
The scope of that movie and like what you could do with a modern budget to that would be insane.
Take Stone Cold's in The Condemned, but make it more futuristic like Running Man. That's what I want.
So when the Running Man came out, there wasn't any reality shows at that time. Now there are like 90% of television right now is reality TV, whether it's a cooking show or a naked show or a dating show or some other bullshit.
Right.
Cooking naked show.
How about we do Naked and Confused stalked by a killing thing or something?
Nate just wants to see boobs and butt all the time.
Who doesn't want to sing boobs and butt all the time?
Yes.
Bring it on. But there's in today's society where reality TV is a real thing, the Running Man makes more sense now that it could happen. It's much closer to what could happen.
When Running Man came out, they went heavy on the game show aspect because what was huge in the 80s, game shows. That was on every channel, middle of the day, end of the day. So it made sense. But update it now to be the more modern Survivor or,
so zombies
give me some characters that are like knockoffs of the Jersey Shore and let me watch them get killed. The Kardashians, let me watch them get killed.
Right.
I would be totally down for that.
Here's the game show. Zombies are real. They're contained though. They're a real thing, but they're able to be contained. So you're going to drop contestants into this island and have zombies chase them, and whoever escapes is the winner. There's your new Running Man.
But with zombies.
Right. It's and then you uncover the conspiracy that
he's workshopping the idea.
I'm workshopping it.
Pete done went real deep on that. So
eat shit. I'm working on it.
Eat shit.
You eat shit, sir.
Fine.
You are the shit eater.
Oh boy.
Nate. All right. Mine is Cobra. I think Cobra would be a lot of fun to see updated.
An updated, like, gritty cop crime movie?
Feel like there could be a lot of potential with Cobra still. Like, that's a dark movie that I think underneath a modern lens, like, kind of like how Dirty Harry tackled like the Zodiac Killer, but you put like a modern twist with Cobra and like that cult and those axes. And I just want those pistols on screen again.
Who doesn't? I mean, he can still drive the Merc totally fine. I'm down. I'd love to see a remake of Cobra. I could get behind that. So, Pete, what action movie are you remaking from the 80s?
Oh, hell, it's got to be action. Damn it.
That's the question. It said, what 80s action movie would you update?
I had a good... Well, okay. So this...
You can turn an action movie into a horror movie if you want.
Well, Well, I am, because at the end of this horror movie is a bitch and action movie where they blow up a town pretty much. So I think that a modern day space vampire life force movie should be should be remade so we get more topless space vampires blowing up England, please.
Hey, fine.
No,
I
sounds good.
I wrote it. I wrote it down. I'm emailing my producer.
Get
friend.
Blumhouse.
Blumhouse can do naked space vampire movie. Come on, Jason Blumhouse.
Come on, Jason Blumhouse.
Make my dreams and fantasies come true.
You had him at naked vampire. That's all you had to write. That's literally all it says in my email to him. It's the letterhead. Naked vampire.
Naked vampire.
Mine
already
sent emojis.
I just got a response. It's greenlit. We're good to go, boys.
Outstanding.
$2 million budget.
We're good. We can do this.
Do I get any royalties from that?
Mia Goth plays the vampire.
Oh my God, Mia Goth would be the.
Oh, Pearl be thy name.
All right, well, here's one it's a little more straightforward for us.
Oh, okay.
It's a little
All right.
more direct. This is from our Facebook follower, Ryan Vidic.
Hey, Ryan.
Did we like the new RoboCop? I'm guessing he means the new remake that came out for RoboCop.
I'll go first.
Yeah, true.
Sadly, I did not see it, so I couldn't tell you.
I'm not surprised.
That's fair.
So,
Nate,
You know how Pete's
I'm
track
out.
record is with remakes. So
Pete's like,
Well, yeah. What one
sitting
remakes.
this one out, boys.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so thank you for the question.
Nate,
I hated it. I don't like it. I don't want to revisit it. I don't like it. It's a bad movie.
And you wonder why I skipped it.
It has a great cast. It's frustrating how bad it is because of the fantastic cast.
yeah.
God, how are you gonna make a PG-13 RoboCop? I'm gonna punch
Whoa,
you. Come at
whoa,
me.
Whoa,
Producers.
PG-13 RoboCop.
Yeah. It didn't work in RoboCop 3. It damn hell isn't gonna work.
Joel Kinnaman, Gary
Fantastic.
Oldman,
Great.
Samuel
Gary
L. Jackson,
Love him.
Michael Keaton,
God, Batman.
Rorschach. I can't
Yeah.
remember the guy's real name.
Yeah.
Jackie Earl Haley.
Jackie Earl Haley. Yeah. Banging cast, dude. Like,
Terrible movie.
insane. Updated Ed 209, and there were like hundreds of them patrolling. It was already sold to the government. Probably
Power
the more
Ranger RoboCop.
more accurate OCP depiction than just the boardroom of people. Like
Yeah,
you're
you
actually
know me.
they Samuel L. Jackson runs a news network like CNN. When you can, he can basically control the narrative of everything going on worldwide. Michael Keaton's basically Batman without the cowl. I didn't like it at first, but I have watched it multiple times, and there are things I enjoy about it. There are a lot of things I don't enjoy about it, but I can watch it. And now that I know how much Nate hates it, we may cover it on the show.
Oh, Nate. Damn you, Nate. Damn you, Nate.
What am I
You got to hold your cards close to your chest.
That's right, man.
Yeah, you're right. I
Do
like
not-
RoboCop remake of year 2000. Insert number.
Insert number. All right. So we have another one from our Facebook group. I think this guy's Russian. Pete. Pete asked this.
Pete, you
Sorry
weren't allowed
about-
to ask questions.
Yeah, I thought
You
we
didn't
said
say
we
I
were
couldn't ask questions.
You know, you got a point. But it
Yeah,
does
okay.
involve us.
You're allowed.
Why are you three so damn sexy? And
Yeah.
I think that's a question for the ages. You know, we have faces for podcasting. Obviously, we're nailing that. We're good.
I have been growing my beard out and hair out just to cover more of my face.
I have beard but no hair, and Pete has no beard, no hair, so that makes him the sexiest of the three of us.
Yeah, I think
Because
so.
he's like showing it all. Like
I
he's
cannot
all
Mr. Clean.
exposed.
cover any of this because of the. I don't want anyone not to be able to see the canvas that
You don't want to
this face
deny
is.
the people.
No, you need to see all of it, and covering it up with hair one way or the other is just it's an
Blasphemy,
affront to
one could
God. It's
say.
blasphemy. I need to make sure that my public can see me through and through. Right.
Fair. That's fair.
Very fair.
That's
Yeah.
great answers to the hard-hitting questions. Let's see. I don't know why Mark only wrote one question for us, but I'm gonna read it.
Which Mark is this?
This is Mark McLean. He's
okay.
he's
Good.
kin to John McClane
Kin to
from Die
John,
Hard.
to John, right?
Long line of McClanes. No
Mhm.
relation to Justin though. Sorry,
Oh no,
Justin.
for sure.
I like this one, but I feel like I need to add rules to this question once I
Okay.
read it. Okay, so
Hit me.
what would need to be taken from you to start you down a John Wick style path?
Oh, geez.
So here's what I have to say. As a married father,
Mhm.
I kind of need to take them out of the equation.
I think that's good. I think
Yeah.
like
Yep,
Yeah.
that's fair.
It needs to be something because it was a dog for John Wick. And so I think the core of the question is it needs to be non-family member related.
I just figured you didn't want to jinx anything
There's
with a
that,
Russian mob
mm,
and with Jackie.
that second part. There you go. But it's because that's always the answer, no matter the question. So
mhm.
Nate, what do we have to take away from you to make
The
you go down?
same
John
exact scenario in John Wick.
Pretty much.
Just my animals. You take away
Your
my
animals.
animals, I'm gonna be very upset.
I think I would be just upset if they took out Goblin. I think
Yeah,
Goblin
just
and
Goblin
I bonded.
alone. I'd be like, oh no, you didn't. And
Yeah.
I'm taking the sledgehammer and I'm going down to the crawl space, and I'm not gonna really have much swinging move because it's a crawl space and not a basement.
Yeah. I think I would just take the
Mm.
sledgehammer. I would be the
Mhm.
John Wick of sledgehammers. That's what I would be. Yeah. Pete, what's going to be took away from you?
Man,
Say beer.
like
Say beer. Say beer.
Say beer. Do it. Do it.
no, because I just moved to liquor or wine.
Alcohol. Say alcohol.
No, like the whole thing with John Wick is his wife died, right?
Yeah.
And then he's just been like he's been a killer all his life, and he's got PTSD to a degree that no one can possibly comprehend. He quits his job, he gets a puppy, and they take away the one thing that grounds him. I'm not sure that I can completely comprehend how the walls of reality have crumbled for him to snap in that degree. And it's part of the story. And I do really enjoy the John Wick films because I am a big revenge. I do love a good revenge movie. And these are the pinnacle. These are all old samurai movies. Like these are really awful revenge movies, wonderfully acted. You can take a lot of things away if I'm taking my family away from me.
Yeah, take it out of the equation.
Take that out of the picture. It would. Yes, you kill my animals. I'm coming after you. That might be the only other thing I would have. Like, yeah, you can take my beer away from me, but I'll find other. I'll find other things to get high.
Yeah,
maybe we should.
Like cocaine. It's fine.
Right. Sure.
And
You
then
can
you'll
take
make
my
Missing in Action 4.
you take my toys away from me, take my movies away from me. None of this is going to make me go insane. I don't know what could possibly make me flip my lid to that degree. One, because I don't have that skill set that John Wick has. When you know that you can kill any SOB on the planet just because, it's hard for me to put myself into his shoes. So I'm going to go with Nate that you kill my dog, I'm coming after your ass. Period.
If you were to delete my Pokemon save, I'd probably be pretty pissed off.
That's pretty pissed off. Well,
Yeah.
and like you can't just run over my dog with your car on accident. I mean, John Wick's
It has
dog
to be a malicious
was
act.
killed. It was killed on purpose to drive home a point. And you do that to me, and I think there's some retaliation coming on. I'm not a violent person by nature, but I think that would get me riled up enough to do something. So my dogs.
Fair.
Charlie.
If it's not my wife, it's my dogs.
It's such a thing. And like Pete bringing up the fact that it's a very serious moment, because not only is it the death of his wife that he gave up everything for, the dog was a gift from her, her final gift to him. I mean, it could have been anything that was taken from him at that moment, but because it was a gift from her, because it was alive, made it all the more impactful. So, I'm copping out, boys. I'm gonna save my cats, man. Don't mess with my cats.
If it's not
totally fair,
if it's not my family and all these toys back here, that's just stuff. Yeah, it's the next thing closest.
That's it. Everything else is stuff. Like John Wick doesn't even get that pissed off about the car. He just goes and gets it. He kills people to get his car.
Well, sure.
But he goes and gets his car.
It's a bitchin' car.
Yeah. So there has to be something meaningful, if not alive, to make someone do that. And ultimately, the ultimate answer is family members or close loved ones. Stuff like that would be, I might consider it if someone took out Nate. I'd have to be like, what did he do? That's my first question. Always my first question.
Because I might have deserved it. Was he
This
right
is
in
true.
his mouth?
I'm gonna ask more questions.
Was he drunk?
Yeah.
Did he puke?
Was Taco Bell involved? These are important things, but that would be about
These are pieces to the puzzle that will that will show my answer. Right.
That's right. This dictates the outcome here, boys. So pick your answers correctly here as we go. All right, that was a tough one, Mark. That took almost an entire episode to answer. That was great.
Right, that was really good. Thanks.
Let's see.
All right, guys. I feel like we might need to do something that we've never done before, and it just makes sense with the 2-year anniversary episode. I think we got to call it, because if not, this episode is going to be as long as Fellowship of the Ring, and I don't think I can do that to people.
I mean, it has as much walking as Missing in Action does.
Yeah, and
that tracks.
It tracks. So maybe we should call it now, and then we'll meet up in 2 days and release part 2.
Oh, so we're doing our very first 2-parter.
I guess so. Which it hurts that it's for missing in action, but shit happens.
It means I get to drink more beer.
Like Missing in Action.
Hurts because of the type of movie or the type of movie?
Right.
A little bit of me, if you catch my drift.
Well, yep. It's the first time for everything. So let's make this our official 2-parter for our 2nd anniversary.